Hi again. So today I want to talk about how to learn repertoire faster. I think this is a very general discussion that all pianists have because everybody's very busy, whether you're a student or you're a concert pianist. Oftentimes you have multiple concertos and different solo recital programs all in your finger. And so I just, as a demonstration, as an example, what I'm doing right now, this is January, and I am working on Tchaikovsky Concerto No. 1, Beethoven Chorale Fantasy, and I'm working on several repertoire for 2 pianos, including the Laval Spiral Veil, and then plus 1.5 solo repertoire. So it's a lot, and it's for the next about 8 weeks. So in order to practice faster, I've been thinking about it. I think rather than being a very diligent student, I think it's probably better to be a very smart student and find ways to speed up the process of practicing. When I was a student, I oftentimes practiced without my mind being there. I thought that, if my fingers were moving, then I can get things accomplished, but it's really not true. I think when you practice, it should be so concentrated that your mind should be 100% there, and before you start practicing, you should write down exactly what you need to do after previous day's practice, write in a diary, and say, next day I am going to do X, Y, Z. And the other tip is that first thing in the morning or first thing in your practice session, you should always start with the most difficult things. So you start with the most difficult and get it over with, and then go to the easier ones, because the mind can concentrate better when you first start. I oftentimes hear students, they practice sitting down and they go through the piece every single day. For me, I think it's a very, not the best use of time, because oftentimes it's not what you need. What you need is really getting the spots down first, the most difficult, and if you look at the score, you will know right away which spots they are. And so you find those very small spots and concentrate and give you a very strong dose of correction, and you will get it done. And then another way that I have found that benefited me is simply rewriting the score. So I have this iPad with me, which I have found to be so useful. I'm not trying to tell everybody to go out there and buy an iPad, but it has worked magic for me, because there is apps that you can simply rewrite the scores. Because sometimes the composer they write, it's not the most comfortable for the fingers. So just to give you an example, so I simply rewrite the score, whichever way I find that is most easy for me to play. And then I delete it. See, this is the original score. But oftentimes you'll see that I turn the entire piece inside out in order to first learn faster, and then to find easier fingerings for me to play. So using technology to help yourself is a way to do it. And then another tip is that I never learn and memorize separately. I always learn and memorize at the same time. I try to memorize as soon as I start a piece. If it's something that I cannot use the score with, that I want to for solo repertoire, I would memorize as I go. I don't learn everything first and then memorize. I find that to be a really wonderful way to save time. And lastly, I think is simply, it's a very simple thing to say, but oftentimes we don't follow it. It's just to practice what you need. It's very simple, isn't it? Practice what you need and don't practice what you don't need. But oftentimes we don't know what exactly we need. So it's better to go away from the piano and look at the score and find out exactly what you need and only practice those spots. So those are my tips for learning pieces faster. Down on in the section below for comments, I hope you will share your tips with us as well. And I'll see you next time.